I'm so pleased to be here. I want to talk about, you talk about meditation and detachment, like everybody knows, but I don't. But when I dance, I feel like I'm floating. But I would like some.
Well, then when you're dancing, you're in the receiving mode, and that's the whole point of it. Maybe dancing is your meditation. Because we don't think, if you've been listening to us, that you can't understand what we've said, because we've said it clearly. If you're dancing as you are, you know what it's like to get out of your own way, don't you? That's all we're talking about, just getting out of your way.
I love dancing. But you talk about that quiet place, you know, sometimes I think I want to receive these ideas. When I dance, I'm having the greatest time.
Yes?
But also,
do you think any of your impulses to move are coming from broader perspective?
Definitely.
And so is an impulse an idea?
True. Yes, for sure.
In fact, an impulse is a pretty well matured idea, isn't it? An impulse to move, that's a big time idea.
Okay.
It's a lot about words, isn't it? Because we talk about vibration, we talk about energy, and we talk about receiving, and we talk about thoughts. But an impulse, when we are speaking to you about the receiving mode and you get this impulse to move, that's true receiving, and that's translation of vibration into thought.
Okay, I'll just keep dancing then.
Yeah. And you might enjoy meditation too.
I do. I love it. So I wanted to get more into that part to have different aspects of the receptive mode. And that's why I was trying to see maybe I can use some of the dancing, what I'm receiving when I dance, and to try to...
We'll just use an example apart from dancing, just to get your attention a bit. So what if you were in a vehicle driving through traffic, and your intention is to flow well, your intention is to enjoy yourself, and your intention is to be refreshed, and your intention is to travel well. In other words, you don't want to bump into anything, you just want to move safely through this space, and you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on. And so like when you dance, your movements are inspired, and so you know when to speed up, you know when to slow down, you know when to change lanes, you know what to do. You're just moving with the impulse of ideas, like dancing in traffic. So you have an impulse to move over there and move over there, and then you have an impulse to take an exit. And then the next day you read in the paper that just about the time you exited the freeway, there was a 20-car pileup, and you weren't part of it. And you might say, I wonder why I didn't receive that thought.
Yeah.
And we say, you received something so much better than the thought. You received the impulse to move. What's the difference? Yes? Esther used to ask that, and we would say, Esther, by the time we get your attention, because she was always talking, always talking, always talking, always talking, always talking, we couldn't get her to stop talking long enough to hear us say change lanes. It was much easier to just give her the impulse to change lanes. You see what we're getting at? So we want you to realize that there is a real evolution or development in your ability to receive thought and translate it into an impulse, even more than if you were receiving words about something.
True, and it's so much quicker. And it's really fun because I get to play with all these people.